Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're getting out in nature like Starlight is. And wow, what a beautiful day. I know. Sorry, New Yorkers out there. So bad. Sorry, family. I'm out here in the sun. And I mean, it was like 30 something the other day. So, woo, that's goes below the temperature Starlight would handle in New York. So anyway, I love you so much. And, thank you for being here. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you could give my videos a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family or friends. A parrot. Uh-oh. So yes, you could share my videos with a parrot and a ferret. A parrot and a ferret. You could share my videos with a parrot and a ferret. And also, you could check out my playlist. Plus, you could find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, anyone out there that would love to send some extra love to Starlight, Starlight would have no problems receiving it. And I might have to turn around. It's kind of funny. The lighting was good, and now it changed. So Starlight's going to see if I can turn this around. But before I do that, I'm going to finish my introduction here. If you want to send Starlight some love, you can on my Cash App, and I will have that information available for you. Ping! There it is. Plus, thank you, all of you who are here. And those of you who have been here even when I was putting videos on Facebook before I started YouTube. Yeah, you. And all of you that have started watching my YouTube channel when I started YouTube and all the way through now. And maybe you just recently discovered me on YouTube. Thank you for all of you who are here loving and supporting Starlight. So now I'm going to try to see if I can get better lighting here, because it's funny. You just never know. We'll do Twister. Starlight never played that game, but one of these days, Starlight's going to be playing Twister. So, and now you're going to see all this stuff here. So Starlight's like, a Virgo. Leave it to a Virgo. Leave it to a Virgo. It's just like, I don't want you to see my messy room. I am so bad. Oh no, can't have that back there either. So anyway, I love you all, and today's video is about just do it. What? Yeah, you just do it. But how? Forget about the scratch that off. Just do it. What are you working on? Just do it. What are you planning? What are you planning? Just do it. Are you looking for ways to get out of it? Are you, searching in all the wrong places? Sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time. Just do it. Whatever you're doing, is to just get busy, get at it, and we all have these challenges, and, like a video game, is that there's other stages, and each stage of these video games, that this stimulation that we're in, believe it or not, is that each level of the game, right, is going to be a different version of yourself. So then the next video game, the next level that you're going to be playing, guess what? You're going to have to work harder. And then, because it's a different version of yourself. Like if there was, like your phone, like a 3G, 4G, 5G. So say if you start off in your level 1, that's a first version of yourself, and then now you're going to be you're going to get rewarded for doing all the work on that video game, and now you're on level 2. So it's going to have more demands on, that means it doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier. So you got to keep pushing, keep on going, and it's going to take more demands in your life each level of this game that you're in, the game of life, this stimulation that we're in. Believe it or not, you can believe whatever you want, but I am living proof of it by living the way I am, and the things that go on in my reality is yes. So each time you get at the end of a game, you conquered something. There's some challenge that you had in your life, and you had to fight, you had to figure it out, you had to use your mind, you had to use your wisdom, you had to listen to your intuition, and have God, use the archangels to guide you through that phase. And, the challenge at the end of the game, and then you're going to get messages, and it's going to say that there's, like I just received today, is that, when you do the proper work and you let go of things that don't serve you, and you're still consistent and you keep on pushing yourself, then you're going to get messages saying, hey, there's a ending now, something in your life is going to end, and now you're going to get in, something new is going to enter in your life. Well, now it's giving you more tools and ways of conquering whatever it is that you got to conquer in the next game, the next level in the stimulation that we're in. So you got to keep on. That means that you're going to be pressured, like a pressure cooker. You're going to be under some pressure, and you're going to, each level though, you're getting wiser at each level, because each level is like another upgrade, or download that you're going to get each level of that game. And as long as you're doing the work, you got everything that you need. And then you got to let go of your old ways of thinking. So you just got to do it. Don't waste too much time wondering how to do it. There's, you got to take action, and there's times that we're doing the groundwork, like today I've had to do phone calls and, doing my groundwork. And then there's times that there is something over here that I could go over there and just do it. We're over here, yeah, I'm doing the groundwork and all that stuff, and that does take time. But instead of just, sitting around, scratching your head, wondering how, I do have to scratch my head, wondering how is this gonna work? Stop asking how. There is something there. You gotta be really, get out of your old way of doing things, because each level you're not gonna think the same way. All that stuff is old things that don't serve you, old ways, old mindsets are gonna, vanish. And now you gotta, it's all new. Now it's like you can't use those programs that you used in, say, if you're in video level 10 right now in this, in a game, in a stimulation. Well, you're not going to be able to use, the old version of, level 9 into level 10, because you already, that version of you already did its job in level 9. So now you're going to be in level 10, which is going to be more demands, and nothing's going to be the same in each level. You're going to learn different things, and you never know what you're going to learn in each level of this game of life that will last all the way up until God, the universe, takes you, out of here. Not that you're going to die or anything like that. I mean, like, your body is not going to be here, but your spirit is always going to be living on, and so you gotta just do it. I talk to people, and I was one of those people a long time ago, and I still struggle. I'm human, and I get challenges too, but you got, every level is another layer of the young onion that you're taking off. And so now it's going to be like a new bud forming, and now you can't use that old layer like an onion. That onion is already done with that, that layer. Now it's a new, like a new bud. And so this way is that you can't use what you used over here. You gotta really think outside the box, and think of different ways of doing things and different angles and how you see things, and also be sharp on your intuition and really pay attention to what your intuition asks. Ask for signs. Some people, they might talk about, hey, there's signs out there, but some people don't know what those signs are. What signs? You say that there's signs everywhere, but Where? What am I supposed to? I don't understand what the signs are. What are the signs? So you know, there's times that people need to understand what are those signs? How do I find them? How do I know what the universe is speaking to me about? And signs are everywhere, you know. And I've been helping my own family members, and it's amazing. I'm gonna, you know, even whatever you're going through right now, you can. It's amazing how this stuff happens. Um, you know, the strangest things can happen in your life, and what you can do is like, you know, you can ask archangels for confirmation, and they can give you numbers. Or there could be, you know, you could get a dream. Like I had a dream last night. Woo! And I will share this. It was amazing. Imagine that you have a dream, because this is a positive dream. This is amazing. It was a house that was on fire, you know. And you know what? You know what Starlight did in this dream? I'm a fire person. I'm a fire starter. Starlight's like, yeah, Starlight loves playing with fire, but in a safety way. But it was a house on fire, and it was at nighttime. And you know what Starlight did? Normally people wouldn't go into the house, right? But Starlight did. I was like a fireman. I was going right into that house, you know, into that dream. What does that mean? So your dreams will tell you a lot about yourself. And don't get so worked up about your dream. You could have a dream that you think is great, but when you interpret it, when you study it, and I got videos on my my YouTube channel, is how to have a dream journal. You got to check that video out, you know, and you know, learn, what do your dreams mean. You know, hopefully you're remembering your dreams, and you're gonna. I got to do this myself. Is that I got to get a notebook in my car, you know, and write down what your dream is. You got to have a light. You got to have a pen that actually works. You know, Starlight had like 5 pens, you know, or something like that next to her bedstand in New York when I was in my apartment. And nothing like having a pen that's not working. So you want to make sure you have light, you know, a book, a notebook, and you know, don't worry about the date so much, but you can do that in the morning, because you're not going to really be thinking of what day it is, you know, in the middle of the night. But those are signs that that the universe can give you, besides repeated numbers. Now I received it's amazing. Well, I know I'm on the right trail, and the right track is when I go places, and I could go into anywhere. I could go anywhere. And this just happened. Is I went somewhere, and somebody had like a hat, and it had a number on their hat. And I'm like, wow, I know I'm on the right track, because the universe knew I was going to come to this park. And God, you know, God is so intelligent. God is, you know, it's amazing how this is all set up. But that number was a message from the universe to let me know some stuff, you know. And that even happened earlier today. I received a number somewhere else, you know, where I'm like, ping, there's a number, you know. So numbers that stand out. So not everybody understands what signs are. What signs am I looking for? I don't know what signs I'm struggling in my life right now, but I don't know what signs, you know. And so that a lot of times that needs to be broken down to people, so then they can comprehend of what signs are. Like in the Bible, they were looking for signs. They were looking in sign, you know, looking for signs. So God does give us signs for us to know what God is doing, you know, what God wants us to do, what we need to work on. And you got to obey. You got to do these things, you know. There's people, they don't take my videos serious. They don't do the work, and then they wonder why shit's not happening for them. You know, you can't pick and choose really when it comes to this game of life. You know, if just like on a like putting something together, right? There's men that do this and women do this, but mainly men would do this more on this. Is like, and I went through this. I put together an exercise equipment, and I couldn't believe it. I never did that in my life. But imagine if I just looked at all the pieces and had my tools with me and just thought, hey, I don't need the manual. I'll tell you what, you're going to need the manual. On my videos, there's bits and pieces of the manual, you know, that actually help you to understand how this game of life works. But if you decide, hey, I don't need the manual, I could, Starlight, I could do this on my own. I don't need no freaking, nobody wants to do, when I put that exercising equipment for lifting weights and stuff like that, I never did it before, but I am freaking great at putting stuff together. I got a mind for this stuff, and I don't know how that happened because I have always been like that. I am like, I got a mind that I haven't even explored yet. There's parts of me that I don't even know about, and you got some stuff about you that you haven't even tapped into yet. We have things that we haven't even tapped into. That's why you don't want to just keep on repeating and doing the same stuff all the time. You want to explore, you want to learn new things, and find out what you really can do. You'd be surprised of the things that you have locked inside of you that you never even discovered, and that's because you got to get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you got to move out of the area that you are, change a job, end relationships that are not serving you, and, change things around, shift things, try a different kind of job. Don't, there's times that people do the same kind of job their whole life. Like I knew a guy, I couldn't believe it. He painted houses his whole life. That's all he ever did was paint houses his whole life. Painted. That's all he did. That's the only job he ever did. That's it. But you're not going to find out who you are. You're not going to find all those hidden talents that God gave you. So whatever you're working on, like I met a guy the other day and at McDonald's, and he's like, "Are you the lady that sits in the back?" And I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Well, what are you doing?" And I get all kinds of people asking me questions because they're like, "Who is that chick back there?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a YouTube creator." And so he didn't have a whole lot of time to talk with me, but he's like, "Oh, I want to do that too." And he's like, "How much could I pay you to help me start my YouTube channel?" Hey, sorry, buddy. I can't help you with that. You got to do that on your own. Well, how do I do that? See, now, I could check with that guy like a week later. Hey, how's everything going with that, It didn't even start. I told him, you got to start tomorrow, because of course that day he's working. But you got to start now. You got to just do it. Just do it, Just do it. I am so serious. Don't talk about it. Just do it. I told him, go on YouTube and how to start my own YouTube channel. Bam. Just do it. That's just do it. You got car issues? You might have, you might have to do something different. You might have to think outside the box to get that taken care of. Anything that you're going through, you can get out of it. You might think you're in the bottomless pit, but you're the one that's the only one that really can get you. God is there, but God wants you and expects you to do the work to get out of that situation. And it's best not, are you a person that procrastinates all the time and puts things off? Well, guess what? Then it's things are gonna get messy. You just got to do it. Like subscribing to my YouTube channel. Don't think about it, but just do it. Like in my video, you don't think about it, you just do it. Starlight likes to have fun. So yes, whatever you're doing, just do it. Stop thinking about it, because all the stinking thinking that you do, nothing gets done. And and you got to be careful of going around talking to people about what you want to work on. Hey, yeah, because I've been there. I was there about starting a YouTube channel. I didn't, I am amazed. I am doing really super good. And the things that I'm working on now, it's because I've been getting downloads. I'm getting help from God. The more, when you work hard and you obey God and you do the right, the things that are, God pleasing, and you're kind to people, you love yourself, and all these other things, lots of other things that you work on, God will reward you. And there's times that God will reward you, not with material stuff, but give you an upgrade, a download, where now you're like, wow, you feel like a new version of yourself, where you feel more powerful, more confident, you're trusting in more because you've been doing the work. So anyway, I love you so much. So don't wait. Don't wait till tomorrow. You got now to do this. Just do it. I'm serious. Just do it. I love you so much. You could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos. And I've been hearing this rooster. What does it mean when you hear a rooster? That's a sign. That's one of those signs. What does it mean when you see a black cat? What does it mean? These are things that you got, it's all over. You know, whatever you're going through, like, what does it mean that your brakes don't work in your car? Well, then you're going to get information of what that means. What does it mean when your brakes don't work in your car? So that's how it is. It's funny. It's so easy in a way. It is easy, but we make it hard. I love you. And besides a rooster, I'm going to say a cat. I've been seeing so many cats. So yes, a cat. And you can check out my playlist. Plus, find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So I love you. Don't think about it. Just do it. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.